Hello, everyone, and welcome to Blow the Whistle Sports. I'm your host, Wayne Holloway, and thank you once again for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, and share. And like always, if you want to see something to show you have a bright idea, drop them in the comments below or hit us on any one of our social media outlets. Holler at us, we holler back. But without further ado, as you see, we got Mr. Stephen Rubain broadcasting live from an
And late.
undisclosed location. And we about to get into this Super Bowl recap. My
Yes,
goodness.
sir. Well,
I hope you guys
I
had a wonderful Super Bowl. It wasn't what I expected. Was it what you expected, Steve?
no, at all,
But
not at
how was
all.
your week before we even jump into that?
It was a good week. I can't complain. It was a good week overall. No complaints. As you see, I'm still Lakered out. My new favorite team. I love the fact that they decided to do what was best for the King. I know. Did you see the King wearing his Doncic 77s jersey,
Mm,
lighting
mm,
up threes?
mm, mm, mm.
He has already said, Anthony Davis, bye, bye, bye.
And it's weird. Anthony Davis went to another team. We'll get into that. Well, let- let's start where everybody wants to know what we got to say about this Super Bowl.
Okay.
I go. Where do we start? Where do we start unpacking
Well,
this
we,
at,
we
Steve?
start first with the highest rated Super Bowl of all time. 127 million people tuned in to watch the Super Bowl. So, in the NFL, very happy. Ratings were high.
Very,
A
very happy.
lot of celebrity input throughout the game, which always is a great look.
Right, right.
Um, Ultimately, I think the NFL is extremely pleased because that one thing that's been over their heads all season is this whole Chiefs have been picked to win. The officiating is all in favor of the Chiefs. I'm
But
not saying it's officially over.
did you fall into all that, Steve?
No, never, because I've always believed that number one, the best teams get the calls. That's been the case throughout the history of professional sports. If you are a dominant team, Patriots talked about 10, 15 years ago. Everybody said the same thing about them. They got all the calls, they're cheating, da da da. We've heard it throughout history. It's just that's
Whoever's hot is always going to be cheating, right?
exactly. So we love to build people up to bring them down. And Patrick Mahomes is a great case because he was a great story 6, 7 years ago. Everybody loved his story. You know, they made fun of his voice. They said, okay, we talk like Kermit the Frog, but otherwise he's a great story. And now he's the most hated man in the NFL. Everybody wants to see him lose. And so
How did he go? How did he fall from grace so fast, Steve?
it's called
It, it,
winning.
it, is it the underdog thing where everybody hates the winner and
Yeah,
they always want the underdog to win? Is it that?
everybody always hates the winner. It's always the case. So I mean, sort of for the NFL's sake, they need to have a new team, a new dog, a new front runner. And so now the Eagles play that role. So now going to the offseason, the NFL can really build up its next direction. Where are they going to go from here?
Right.
So it's been a win-win. The Super Bowl, the game itself was a dud. Let's be honest. It
Huge.
wasn't well played. I
Huge.
mean, I know to Eagle fans, you're going to say it was the greatest game ever. I mean, that's always the case if your team
Mm,
wins. But from a football fan perspective, the game was about a 4.5 out of 10.
4 point.
Wasn't
You gave it
competitive.
that high? I
I
gave
give
the
it
Super
that.
Bowl a 2. I gave it a
Uh,
2.
no, I won't give it. No, we've had worse. We've had worse games. This wasn't the worst Super Bowl of all time.
The
But
competitiveness of this game was just not there what I was expecting.
yeah,
But what I will say, um, or what I want to ask you, do you think that Philly has the tide change? Has Kansas City lost their mojo? What are you saying with this game?
no and no. I won't say the tide has changed. I think this has been a great story for this season. The Eagles definitely have a strong team. I think they're going to definitely be the favorites going into next season. But as far as is the dynasty over with, we're going to have to wait and see. The
Hmm.
Chiefs will have to retool, no question. They can't come back with what they had this year. They're going to have to go out there, make some hard decisions. Get a player here or there. You still got the Mahomes factor. But I'm going to get into, I think, the biggest GOAT of the game, as far as not GOAT greatest of all time. I'm talking about GOAT as far as who blew the game, was the offensive coordinator for the Chiefs, Matt Nagy. And I don't understand. For those who don't understand how the football goes, usually teams always script their first 20 plays. So
But see, let me slow you down right there, because there's a lot of sports people that don't understand that word script.
Okay.
A lot of people think script means that it's the WWE. There's an outcome already predetermined before the game starts. See,
Right.
those words hurt certain people in the sports world when it comes to football. People that don't understand the game. When you say script, do you mean that the NFL knows what team is going to win, or
No.
explain what you mean? Because I think people out there really need to know.
So script means that an offensive, you got 2 weeks to plan for the game. So offensively, the team already has an idea for what they're going to run for those first 20 plays. So it's a team concept, not the NFL itself has scripted the game. The team already has an idea. They've already run through the plays over and over again. They know exactly what everybody's supposed to do.
And
So
each
you have
team in the
cohesion.
NFL, all 32 teams, script at least their first 10 plays.
At least.
So they know
10 to 20.
what 10 plays they're going to run when they first come out, what direction they want to go. Now,
Correct.
coach can change, or in some cases the quarterback can call an audible,
Right.
but they pretty much know the first 10 to 15 plays.
Yeah.
That's why they say scripted.
Right. They have an idea of what they're planning on doing, so that way everybody's on the same page. You don't have people not sure what they're supposed to be doing. So with that being said, the Chiefs had 17 plays, offensive plays in the first half. Out of those 17 plays, 14 were passes and 3 were runs. Now, for those who've watched our show week after week after week, I've said there's 3 things you got to do to win playoff games in the NFL. You got to run the ball, you got to play defense, and you got to control the turnovers. Those are the 3 things, time and time again. And going back, you can go back 20, 30, 40 years. The team that controls a running game, team that has a defense, and a team that has less turnovers win 95% of the time.
Yes, sir.
Why would you, as an offensive coordinator, when you know that's the case, come out there and play hero ball? We've been criticizing hero ball all year. We've criticized Lamar Jackson. We criticized Josh Allen. Patrick Mahomes came out and they did something we've never seen before, as far as just, he looked like a kid with his head cut off. He was running around doing pirouettes and running backwards and we've never seen Patrick Mahomes look so flustered, look so out of rhythm.
It's like they did too much. They overthought this game instead of coming playing their game.
Yeah. I mean, even if your running game is not working, you got to start off. The Eagles got the best defense in the league. You got to start off and establish the run, because Mahomes is best when he has play action, when he can just go ahead, and teams are expecting to run. He does play action, and then that's when he can hit Kelsey. That's when he can hit Worthy. I just was blown away by how horrible the game plan was for the Chiefs coming out. They pretty much played into the Eagles' hands.
They didn't even for the last 3 to 4 years, the Chiefs have been experts on eating people up on the blitz. But that's the thing, the Eagles didn't blitz. That front 4 was a monster.
Which was even more reason. Right.
Huh?
Which is even more reason why it made no sense how the Chiefs play. When you know they're not blitzing, that's more reason why you want to establish the run, because they're playing 7 guys in coverage. The running game should be there.
The running game should be there, and the dink and dunk with Hunt and Pacheco. I didn't even see the normal end around. I didn't see the screen pass from the backfield, from the wide receiver to the running back or to the tight end.
It
was non-existent.
it looked like they were a team that didn't know what they were doing. It looked like the Eagles were the two-time defending Super Bowl champions, and the Chiefs looked like they'd never been there before.
Now, see, this Chiefs team, I thought was so poised and so veteran like that I didn't think, normally, if you remember on past shows when we got to the big game, I always say certain teams, brand new teams making it there, those 2 weeks hurt them waiting to play.
Right.
That that anticipation for this big game under those lights with those people, it hurts. Normally hurts brand new teams, but the Chiefs been there. This has been there, done that. I didn't think that was going to play a fact, but it sure looked like it did.
Yeah,
2 weeks off, coming out flat.
and the wild part was it wasn't even the case of the Eagles dominated the run game because, quite frankly, the Chiefs shut down Saquon Barkley.
Yes,
It was Jalen Hurts himself who killed them more with the run than it was Barkley. And so
it
that's
looked like the Chiefs planned to stop Saquon Barkley, and that's the only thing they practiced for the last
all
2 weeks was to stop Saquon.
right. It seemed like, stop Saquon and let Mahomes. It was almost like they were like, well, we have no chance to win anyway, so let's just give Mahomes a chance and we'll take our chances. That seemed like the
Shout out to
game plan
Charles
was.
Chung. He said the cruise is over. Fly, Eagles, fly. Chiefs were finally exposed, is what he said. What do you think
Yeah,
about that?
I, I would say they were exposed if they played the right game plan, but because their game plan was just so horrible, I can't. I mean, I give the Eagles all the credit in the world. Eagles deserve to win. They were the better team, but yeah, no, I blame it on the offensive coordinator that the game calls were just so horrible. They just didn't give Mahomes a chance to win. It was like he was running around with his head turned. I mean, have you ever seen Mahomes look that flustered where he just didn't know what he was going to do?
He
He
had
couldn't
the
get the
look on
ball
his
with his
face
hands.
like he was just beat. But this was in the first quarter.
In the first quarter. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going. The second half, he looked like Mahomes. Once they eased off, they had the big lead. He was letting the air out, and he looked like the Mahomes we know. But in the
Oh
first
yeah,
half, he looked
he
like he was
cheated me out of some
ready.
Super Bowl squares with that last pass.
Oh yeah,
Some
yeah.
big
I mean,
money too.
the second half,
Latham
Xavier
Williams
Worthy had
said,
a
"Did
huge
you
second
guys
half.
enjoy that beatdown of Mahomes? Defense took all their lunch tickets." Oh my goodness. We already knew this was coming.
Yeah. I mean, no, I mean, the Chiefs are the team that hate. So hey, like I said, it's good for the league because now the Chiefs are going to need to retool. There's going to be huge question marks as to what direction.
What do you really think the Chiefs need, Steve?
Oh, we got to start first with the offensive line.
Some
There's
pieces.
a lot of work they got to do there.
Yeah, some pieces. That's about it to me.
No, I mean, if you didn't have trust in Hunt and Pacheco in this game, you got to make some changes there. You can't come back with Hunt and
They can
Pacheco
use
again.
a big back.
Yeah, they're going
A
to need to
big
get a
back.
running back.
I still would keep those two running backs. So those two are firecrackers.
Now, wide receiver, you're going to get Rashee Rice back to go with Worthy. But the question is going to be DeAndre Hopkins. Do you bring him back, or do you go out and get another third wide receiver?
Yeah, because Worthy has emerged. Worthy looked like at the end of this season like he's ready.
Yeah. And
He
then
looked like he's
lastly,
ready.
you got the Kelsey factor. What are you going to do with Travis? Is he going to retire? Can you bring him back? I mean, what's
Latham Williams
O-line
said
for
new
sure.
line. Charles Tongue said they won both second and final on the school. He won both second and final on the squares.
Oh
Okay,
man,
congratulations, sir.
Yes.
What I'm gonna say is this: nothing taken away from the Eagles. The Eagles did their thing. They came and put the beat down on the Kansas City Chiefs like they were supposed to. If you remember what I said, the keys to the game was for the Eagles to win is that they had to control the time of the possession and keep the hands keep
The
the
ball out
hands
of TC's
off the
hands.
ball of Patrick Mahomes and in the hands of Jalen Hurts for this to be successful for the Eagles. And the Eagles just did just that. The only thing that was different, I thought the Eagles were going to dominate on the ground and be absent in the air, and it was reverse. they were dominant in the air and absent basically on the ground.
Well, we got to talk about what the main factor is of this game was. We got to give Jalen Hurts that anybody now who doesn't call him a top 10 quarterback is an idiot who doesn't understand football.
Well,
He is a top 10 quarterback, and not even top 10. I might even say top 5 or 6 because when it comes down to it, all he does is win. And if you care about stats, if you care about all that other stuff, then you're not a true understanding of football. Football is about who can win the game. And so if I need a quarterback who's going to be able to give me a win, Jalen Hurts is my top 5 right now.
And I'm gonna say something people are not gonna like. Bar no injury, Kansas City will be back. Like the Terminator, they will be back. They will be back.
Yeah, they'll be back, but there is competition. I mean, Baltimore is going to get better.
The Bills are going to be better. Baltimore
is going to come along. I mean, there's
I gave it to Baltimore actually for next season. Baltimore should have this huge chip on their shoulder and ready to go. Baltimore, to me, was the best team in the league. They just didn't know what to do, how to use their
running game. I mean, the bottom line is they did what the Chiefs did. They abandoned the guy who got him there was Henry, and they decided to play hero ball with Lamar Jackson, and that's what the Chiefs did this game.
Let me ask you this: do you think the Philadelphia Eagles have what it takes to put themselves back there next season?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. They're going to be. I say going to the season, they should be the prohibitive favorites to repeat again, and they've earned the right to get that status. I mean, let's keep in mind. I mean, the last 3 seasons they've been in the championship run. They had 2 out of 3 Super Bowls they've been in, and the third one they could have been in last year. So I mean, you have to say they're one of the favorites. I mean, now number 2, the Commanders, of course, depending on what they do in the offseason.
I wonder why you brought them.
They're going to be up there. Yeah, they're going to be the team to really keep an eye on as far as.
I want to see the moves they make.
Moves they make. You know, Myles Garrett's already almost begging himself to go there. So they get somebody like him. They get another wide receiver. They're going to be a formidable team.
Oh, shout out to Glenn White. He said, "What's up, peoples? How you doing, sir?
How you doing? How you doing? We're doing good.
We getting ready to open the phone lines. Let you guys call in and give your outtake on what we're talking about and Super Bowl 2024 recap. My goodness, it was something else. If you're just now tuning in, I am broadcasting live from Blow the Whistle Sports, talking to Mr. Stephen Rubain, who's not in studio right now, but he is broadcasting live from an undisclosed location, fully decked out in his Laker gear. We will be talking about the Lakers later on in the show, but right now we're getting right back to this recap and the nitty-gritty on what really happened in this game. And Steve was just saying that he thought that Philadelphia had what it takes to get back right where they left off next season. And I'll say this: Philly has had that for the last 3 to 4 years. The one thing about Philly is if anybody can agree with me, or if anybody wants to agree with me, they are a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde team. Now with Saquon, this is his first year. Is he the X factor which takes the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde out of it, and they become a steady team? Because as you see, what was it, the year before or the last year, where we thought that they were going to be a contender and they just fell off completely, and we didn't know what was going on with them?
Well, with Saquon, the question always is always going to be, can he stay healthy? This year, he stayed healthy from game 1 all the way through the season, and we see what happens.
He worked hard.
And so going into next season, they need the same. So if he can go out and play every game, the Eagles definitely can be a contender. So maybe it was just being with the Giants was reasons for a lot of his injuries, but this season he didn't show any injury concerns. There was nothing holding him back from having this huge season. So yeah, Eagles are definitely going to be a team to be formidable. But like I mentioned, there's going to be a couple other teams up there. And now this is Super Bowl related, but let me talk about Dak Prescott. Did you hear what this guy said? I,
Go ahead.
I
Go ahead.
try to like Dak Prescott. I try. I mean, besides the fact I hate the Cowboys, and we all know my legendary hatred of the Cowboys.
Oh my goodness, legendary.
So sometimes it's better not to be heard. Dak Prescott, who quite frankly was nowhere near the money he should have been paid this year. The team looked better with Cooper Kupp the second half of the season quarterbacking. He had the nerve to come out after the Super Bowl and say, "We're right there with the Eagles. We are a Super Bowl contender."
Not Cooper Cup. You mean
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
Yeah,
Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush.
Right. Yeah.
All
I
right,
know
Cooper Rush.
Cooper. Yeah, I know. I get it.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, Cooper Rush. They looked better with him as quarterback.
Right.
He had the nerve to sit down and come out and say that we're right there with the Eagles. We're Super Bowl contenders. Why would you even come out? The best thing for you to do is to keep quiet, work hard in the offseason, and come out as underdog and try to make a mark for yourself next year.
That is not his personality. He is a bona fide cowboy. And doesn't he sound like Cowboy fans?
I mean, it's insane.
Hey, he did what he's supposed to do, Steve.
They're not even the second best team. They're not even the second best team in that division.
Hey, you want to hear some more crazy news?
Yeah.
Kadarius Toney was arrested for strangling a lady. Did you hear about that, Steve?
I mean, some people just have what's called loser in there, and we're going to talk about loser in a second because
we got a Super Bowl ring now.
We're going to have a tie into loser because I know it's somebody you want to talk about in a second. But Kadarius Toney just has loser written all over him.
Oh man,
he was put in a great situation. Left the Giants where he was a loser there. Went to KC where he was in a great position to do well.
And couldn't catch a ball.
Couldn't catch a ball with the Chiefs. Got ran out of town there. Has pretty much ruined his career, and now he's looking at some jail time. I mean, it's just
ridiculous, man. How do you get these breaks and these chances and you just throw them down the drain?
I mean, you're making NFL money. That in itself would stop. I don't understand domestic abuse among athletes. When you're making an NFL, NBA, whatever contract, you can't pay them enough to put hands on them.
That's that pride. That's something going on.
But my pride is you put those hands up and like, wait a second, I made $3.5 million last year. You ain't getting none of my money.
Go home. No way. I'm going to call the police or just leave. Let her have the house until you have the police come and clear the house out. Don't put your hands on nobody.
Nobody. I just don't understand it. And it's limited money. You're not getting NFL money the rest of your life.
Glenn
so you got to get all the money you can while you can.
Exactly. He said Dallas is one of those with the new Dallas is one and done with the new coach. It's Dak last year, book it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's just nothing in the Cowboys situation that should make them want to talk anything about any type of. They just need to make the playoffs.
Yeah, but we talking about a lackluster team. We supposed to be talking about KC and the Super Bowl. Dallas.
I'm just bringing it up because they find a way always to put themselves in the news, even when they have no reason to be in the news. They find a way.
You got to see their smile. You got to see them say something. But Steve, I want to ask you about these commercials in the Super Bowl. Was it the year that the commercials really did something for you?
No. I mean they've done all the celebrity stuff. Now I mean they're doing more and more with the big names, having the big guys all put together in commercials. I didn't see one commercial that really moved me that I was like, oh my God, that's the most amazing commercial ever. I mean, let's have you guys want to call in. You saw something that I didn't see. Not one commercial I saw was like, oh my God, they really did an amazing job with that commercial.
Let me put the number up. So if you guys want to call in and talk to us, the number is 1-909-844-4443. That's 1-909-844-4443. Call in and talk to us at Blow the Whistle Sports. We want to hear what you got to say.
But since you mentioned the commercials, let me ask you about the halftime show, because I think that was a much bigger deal than the commercials were this year.
You know,
What was your
they make
opinion
a
on the
big deal
halftime show?
about the halftime show all the time for the Super Bowl because of the platform that it's on. And as you said, this Super Bowl was one of the biggest. One of the biggest. What I will say about the halftime show, uh, I'm a super fan of Kendrick Lamar. Let me say that. I think he is the number one MC that is out right now. But as a Super Bowl performer, um, see, this show had a lot of symbolism in it and a lot of details for what's going on politically and things of that sort. Do I think that's for the Super Bowl? No. Um, do I like Kendrick Lamar? Would I like to see that show again? Yes, I would. I would love to go to a Kendrick Lamar show and watch it. You know, because I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan. But to explain that more, it's like I'm also an Eminem fan, right? But I don't think Eminem would be good for the Super Bowl with the type of music that he does. If you understand what I'm saying, um, the Super Bowl appeals to every form, every walk, and I believe like the Kendrick Lamar performance was more for it was for everybody, but he appeals to people of color more. I would have to say. Now that song, his number one song, I believe that song should have been at the Super Bowl, but I believe he should have been in the Super Bowl performance. I don't know if he should have been the only act at the Super Bowl. I know SZA was there, but she was really like second to what was going on. If you catch my drift,
Right.
um, I
I think,
think
I
this.
think let me add on to that. I think
Go
the
ahead.
issue with what you're trying to say, I think the Super Bowl halftime show has kind of run its course as far as we've already had the elite, the Michael Jacksons, the Prince, guys, super superstars. And so
Right,
anybody else who you try to put up there are not going to compare in any type of level as far as presenting the show because we've seen all the greats.
right.
There's nobody really that's on that level to do that massive performance by themselves. Like you said, it should have probably have been a group performance.
I'm thinking like a Black Eyed Peas,
Yeah,
um,
mixing with somebody else.
Pitbull, Flow Rider, all those people would appeal to that old music, you know,
Right.
something that gets everybody going. Um, Kendrick Lamar is on my playlist. I love him, but looking at the masses watching the show, they weren't into it at the Super Bowl. You know what I mean?
No.
It wasn't something that everybody could relate to.
Right.
I could relate to it big time, and I understood what was going on big time. But it for the Super Bowl, and it wasn't like I hear what you said about the superstars. Kendrick Lamar is a superstar, but the song that everybody wanted to hear it was a diss track,
Right.
and it's been three good diss tracks. And I don't know if you know about them. Ether with Eminem and Nas,
Mm-hmm.
and Ice Cube, No Vaseline,
Yes.
and all of them, all of them, prolific and great. But those songs for the Super Bowl, I don't know. You know,
No.
I wanted to hear that song. That's the number one song in the world right now. So it's that song. He should have been on somebody else's show performing that song. If you understand what I mean.
Right. No, I
It
mean,
should, like people. It was New Orleans, so they were talking about Lil Wayne. Yeah, Lil Wayne has more of that. You know, they wanted to hear the Lollipop song. They wanted to hear uh, um, um, all those little fluff songs.
right.
You know, Kendrick Lamar is a real lyricist. You know, eh,
No, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's like I said, I just took it for what it was worth.
right?
Um, I didn't feel too much into as far. I don't know if you saw the press conference with Jalen Hurts, and they tried to ask him a question. How do you feel about the Kendrick Lamar versus Drake? Blah blah blah. And he came out and said, "I myself, I have no problem with either one of the acts, but I'm old school, so I'm more of a Frankie Beverly and Maze guy."
There you have it.
And that's pretty much kind of explains what you're trying to say in the system of it's not something that's going to appeal to those who are into the older music, into the older rhythm,
More
it doesn't have
relatable.
a place. And
Yes.
so Kendrick Lamar might have been a great performance for like before the Super Bowl. Maybe had a concert there to be performed, before the
No,
game.
the song that he did, Not Like Us,
Mm-hmm.
is the number one song.
Right.
That song, everybody wanted to hear at the Super Bowl, but that song.
Right. But that's what I'm saying though. He could have done that song at a pregame show or at what have you.
Or
Or they want
whatever
to
artist
do a medley.
performing could have opened up and let him had that one song there, or even
Right.
Squabble Up and that song, because both of those songs is great songs.
Yeah. So I mean, it just comes down to the platform. It's they need to do a different platform. Either get an elite performer on the level of a Michael Jackson, Prince type, or make it a medley
All
and
those
have
people have
4 or 5
performed at
acts
the Super
perform.
Bowl already.
Hmm?
Who there's no other
But that's what
there's
I'm
no
saying. I mean,
more
that's my
elite.
whole point. That they've run their
Kendrick
court. I can't
Lamar
be
is
anybody else.
elite for
Well, I mean,
this generation.
but Beyonce.
She's already done it.
But okay, but then I don't know what else to tell you. Then who
Yeah.
else?
See?
That's what
Well,
I'm saying.
what's
There's
it?
nothing else they
The,
can
the,
do.
the
It's run
Super
its course.
Bowl, because it appeals to so many people, it should be. They always want to give it to one person.
Right.
They have so much money. It should be multiple headliners, like
Well, how
Flow
they did a
Rider's
couple years
number one
ago, like
song,
like when they
Pitbull's
had
number one song, the
right.
Black Eyed Peas, even the Black Eyed Peas with
Well,
all their old hits,
well,
something like that.
well, you brought up a couple years ago when they had Dre and they had Eminem and they had 50 Cent and they did Mary J. Blige and they had them all
Yeah.
on the stage at the same time. That's what you're talking about. Meaning
Yes,
like
a
4 or 5,
medley,
6 different acts doing their songs, and then it
and
becomes
it'll reach everybody there. So you got something for everybody.
right. Yeah,
And
that would
Kendrick
work.
performed that on that show also.
Right. That would work. They could do that. They could definitely do that. So yeah, I'm like I said, I'm like you. Like I said, they need to do. NFL needs to tinker on a couple of things. It's not just any one thing. There's several things they need to tinker with.
Well,
Halftime show is one.
they need to tinker with the officiating first,
Well,
and
we
and
we
then
we've
and
been
then the halftime show is easy.
we've been kind of officiating for the last several years.
Yeah,
We know what they need to do with officiating. The question is, will the NFL do it?
I believe after this year, with the hoopla that was going on, something more is going to be said, and something has to be done.
It has to be done. But unfortunately, as long as these ratings are still what they are, highest rated Super Bowl of all time, they don't feel the pressure to have to make that change. So
Glenn White
I'm
is
with
said
you. I
the
hope they
perfect
do.
performer for the next Super Bowl.
Who do you think it should be?
Yes, Chris Brown.
No.
Yes,
No. Come on.
he has
Okay,
hits
so
with
what's that?
everybody.
You now what's that? If you're saying Kendrick Lamar is not worthy to do it by himself, you want to have
No, no,
Chris
no,
Brown
no,
do
no,
it?
no, 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 no. Kendrick Lamar is worthy to do it by himself. What I said, his reach for the people that was there. Kendrick Lamar is one of my favorite performers. Don't misquote me. Kendrick Lamar is a beast.
Right.
He is one of my. But to reach the masses of the Super Bowl, Chris Brown with Busta Rhymes, Chris Brown with man doing a medley of all these different hits. He reaches everybody there with all from what's the girl
You,
how I'm supposed to breathe with no air, Jordan Sparks,
you, you,
Buster
you,
Rhymes. He
you,
has songs that he can bring artists out after artists out after artists out year
you,
after year, number one here, number one there. uh, the- it has a further reach.
clearly you have amnesia.
What are you talking about?
What, what led to the downfall of Chris Brown?
That's past news, Steve. That's
The
past
Super
news.
Bowl, he attacked his girlfriend Rihanna. The NFL is never going to put him on stage.
You hear that, Glenn?
Come on. We just
Charles,
talked. We just talked 10 minutes ago about domestic abuse and Kadarius Toney. Why would you put somebody who was known for abusing his girlfriend at the Super Bowl halftime show?
He's not known for abusing his girl.
That's what he's done.
It was one
Right,
it was
here's what he's
one
known.
trans
Okay,
it was one problem years ago. They
exactly.
hang out. That's over and done with. If
No,
you Ray
he has,
Lewis
he
Ray
has never
Lewis
been the
was
same
on
since.
trial for murder. He played in
Yes,
the
he
NFL
played. He
Hall of
played.
Famer. We once a person does their time, we got to get past all that, Steve.
You're not on the biggest stage. You're not going to put somebody on stage that has, whether it's past or whatever, that reputation. It's not going to happen. That's not.
Yeah,
I mean, that's definitely not going to happen.
Charles Tongue said a country artist entourage.
Well, yeah, but country music is probably where they're going to go next. My guess is they're going to put a country singer on next year. It could be like someone like Carrie Underwood. It could be one of these other ones who are big names. It could be, like you said, it could be a entourage. That's my guess, is that they're going to do the opposite, complete opposite of where they went this year. So this year, rap, hip hop, they're going to go country next year.
See, and even me, I would say somebody like go old like Seal with was it Katy Perry?
Yeah, you could do something like that. I mean, they're going to gear
Adele,
to the family friendly
Adele and
audience.
Seal, to where they have 3 or 4 different stages. You go to one, they do like 2 songs. Go to the next stage, they do like 2 songs. Having something like that.
Yeah, we agree that would be a way to go. But they always want to try to keep it family friendly. They're not going to put somebody on who has any kind of negative reputation. Kendrick Lamar is perfect because other than the diss track, there's nothing on his resume. He doesn't have any negative in his background.
Oh, Kendrick Lamar was a perfect choice as
Yes,
of a artist with all those Grammys he just won. I
correct.
was only talking about the outreach for the Super Bowl.
Right.
A lot of people. Did you watch the crowd response?
Oh, I mean, it was on point. I mean, it's what is expected. He was the hottest performer last year, so you expect the crowd to love. And I mean, I thought his performance was what it was. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think anything
No,
about it was
by no
bad at all.
means. I loved his performance.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I just
I
don't
didn't have
think
any.
it was Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it did what it needed to do. Was that it brought attention. The whole Serena Williams during the seawall, that was a big thing. And
Darius Rucker.
yeah, he could be somebody they might look into, just because like I said, they're going to be looking at somebody who, like you said, has mass appeal, but then also doesn't bring out to.
Right.
That's who they're looking at. They're looking at those type of performers. Unless, like I said, unless you're a Michael Jackson type, someone of that huge caliber. And I'm talking about huge.
We don't have any more of those.
We don't have any more of those. They're all gone.
Chris Brown is right there. Usher.
He would be right there if he didn't have that whole. That was the beginning and end of his downfall.
Yeah, we gotta let that go.
Yeah,
Usher.
Usher. What did he do last year? Didn't he do? What was his big performance last year? Didn't he do Super Bowl last year? I thought Usher was last year's Super Bowl performer.
Usher.
Yeah, he did last year.
He
Don't
did.
you remember?
No.
Yeah, Usher was last year's Super Bowl performance.
Oh, okay. Your lighting went off a little bit, sir.
Still me.
Yeah, I still see you. You're just a shadow of your former self.
Oh, yeah, you know how that goes. Anyway, I think we've talked enough. I know what you don't want to get to, but before we do get into NBA, because I think we've talked enough Super Bowl, I think we can pretty much put a tip to the season. Congratulations, Eagles.
Fly,
Chiefs,
Eagles, fly.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Chiefs got some work to do. But let's talk about Mr. Cam Newton.
Hey, Lathan, you can call in if you want to, 1-909-844-4443.
Yeah, we love to hear.
Don't be scared.
Yeah,
We
we
want to
want
talk
to.
to an Eagle fan.
This is me. Yeah, I'm not the biggest Eagle fan, of course, being a Commanders fan, but I respect. Interesting fact. Did you know this? The NFC not only is the only division to have every team win at least one Super Bowl. Now with this Eagles win, they're the only team that has every team have at least 2 Super Bowl wins.
Oh my goodness!
You got the Cowboys with 5, Giants with 4, Commanders with 3, and now the Eagles with 2. Now is that not a dominant division? Was it? I count that. That's 5,
I hear
9,
crickets.
12, 14 out of the 59 Super Bowls won by the NFC East.
Well, congratulations.
So we are a dominant Super Bowl. Next year, Commanders will make 15.
Hold on, we getting the
So,
call. Blows Sports, who's calling? Hold up a second. Let's see.
Don't be shy.
Blows Sports, who's calling?
You know who this is. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Oh, my goodness. We got one of them to call in. We got an Eagles fan.
We got an Eagles fan. Oh, Lordy.
In the building.
You must feel real good after that win, right?
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I loved it.
Right.
We know that.
Will you agree with me, though, even though I know all Eagle fans, of course, love the win, it was a great win, the game itself was a dud.
Yeah, I thought, you know what? I thought it was gonna be a better game than that. I had Chiefs fans calling me, congratulating me at halftime, like, look, y'all got this one. I was like, wow, man. So I did want to see a better game though, but hey, what can you do? Sometimes you get those duds, man.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dud.
It happened.
But the Chiefs did what they needed to do. Now let me ask you this question, because this is where the controversy comes in with Hurts. Is Hurts now a top 5 to 6 quarterback in the NFL?
Oh yeah, you got to put him in the top 5. I mean, because all these guys that they're comparing him to, like Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen. He's been to more Super Bowls than them dudes.
And won one. And what's that? And has to win. So you not only has
he got to win. Yeah, you're right.
And he got to win. So if I'm looking at in his 6th, 7th year, he's already been to 2 Super Bowls. He got a Super Bowl win. I'm putting him above Burrow. I'm putting him above Josh Allen. I'm putting him above Lamar Jackson, even though they've had greater stats, more MVPs, all that good stuff. He gets the job done when the game matters.
Yeah, the AFC got a lot of work to do, man, because Mahomes is still the top dog in the AFC. Lamar got to come to his level, and Josh Allen got to come up to his level. So until they knock him off, he's still the king in the AFC.
Absolutely. I agree. 100%. 100%. So
man, they got Hurts. He's like number 20. Oh, that's stats.
Yeah,
that's stats. That's
stats. Yeah, he's not going to ever be a stat guy. I'm talking about
NFL can't get used. Look, they have a hard time dealing with right now that the old time quarterback just dropped back, Johnny Unitas type quarterback is kind of fading away in the NFL, and they can't handle it. They want quarterbacks to win the way they used to win back in the days, and that's just not the way it is no more. It's a different era now.
Different game. They don't even like to kick field goals like they used to.
No, not at all. No, Hurts will run when he needs to. He'll pass the ball when he needs to, and he has no problem handing the ball to his beast running back, Saquon Barkley. And he does it willingly. He's not like Lamar Jackson, who's like, I don't want to give me the ball. Hit me back because I got to. He's not like Lamar Jackson, who's like hands the ball begrudgingly. Jalen Hurts is like, here's Saquon. Please run the ball for a touchdown. We're happy to see you do well.
Like the way the Chiefs was calling their offense. I remember the last Super Bowl that we lost to them, and their offense seemed way different from what it looked like this year. Like they were doing all type of trick plays, and they was just all in their bag on offense. And they wasn't doing nothing this year on offense.
Yeah, I don't like that. We talked about it. I said I don't know what the play calling was. The first half was just horrendous as far as what they scripted in the play calling. It seemed like they felt like we were going to lose anyway. We might as well just let Mahomes do his thing.
It's what happens when a team has a plan, and I just never thought it would happen to Andy Reid, and they just get stuck in one mode, knowing that we're that good, it'll work. We're that good, it'll work, because they've never been so one-sided. 3 running plays in the first half. 3. and just trying to go down. It's not working. So Andy Reid normally would have switched up, done something different to get some type of something going to get down the field.
Yeah, I think Buffalo would have put on a better performance than that. I mean, they couldn't get it done against Mahomes, but the Bills would put on a better game than that, man.
I agree.
I think so, but
well, I think the Kansas City Chiefs will be right back, coming back. I don't see anything slowing them down. I think they're going to make adjustments this season on that offensive line, and they'll be ready to make another splash next season, bar no injury.
They still the top dogs in the AFC. I mean, they just got to make a couple of tweaks on their O line. If they pick up a couple of O linemen in free agency, they'll be right back. They'll be good.
Well, like I said, I don't know if we could trust the running game now. If they didn't trust the running game in the Super Bowl, can you come back with Hunt and Pacheco?
Well, Pacheco, I don't know. I remember in that first game, he was going beast mode against us in the game that the Super Bowl we lost against them.
Yeah,
Pacheco was going beast mode. I don't know if he wasn't all the way healthy.
He wasn't 100%. He hasn't been 100% since he got back. That's why he's been more into the running game than Pacheco was. Now Pacheco coming back next season, I'll probably be that same person that he was when he left out. But coming back, I think they brought him back too fast. First of all, they should have just concentrated on Hunt. But it was a Super Bowl, so you got to try everything.
Yeah.
Pacheco was fired up. If you saw when he got the ball in the second half, he was ready to go.
Yeah. And then they went away from it again. I mean, they came on in the second half like they want to start running the ball, and then they totally went away from it. And just, it was a very weird play call for the Chiefs the whole game.
Glenn White says it's more pressure It's more pressure for Lamar
Allen. There's more pressure on them. Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, this right now, I mean, they're becoming the Kirk Cousins and the I won't say the guy Aaron Rodgers because he does have a Super Bowl win. But
you better believe though, a lot of GMs is watching this game, and you know what they're gonna be drafting when the draft comes around. You better believe they're gonna be drafting a bunch of D tackles in this draft on the AFC side.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That front four of the Eagles was crazy, man.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, man,
they brought it.
Jalen Carter, he had the flu. He wasn't even 100%.
They brought it. I mean, I agree.
Man, I mean,
nothing else to say about it. The Eagles did their thing, hands down. Fly Eagles fly. Jalen Hurts rules.
And they will be the favorite next year. Like I said, going into the season next year, they should be the favorite. They will be.
Well, they're the Super Bowl champs. They have to be the favorite. My thing is, like I said before Lathan called, the Eagles are Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde team. They were good a year before, not last year, but the year before, and then they came in the next year, and they came in like gangbusters, and they fizzled out.
I think the difference with this Eagle team is that usually Super Bowl teams get hurt because once they win the Super Bowl, everybody wants that money. Everybody wants a big contract. And so usually the teams get broken up because guys want to go elsewhere so they can get a huge money. I think with the Eagles, their core is happy in Philly. I think they're satisfied with the money. I don't think Jalen Hurts is going to be like, now pay me Dak Prescott money. He's not that type of dude. So I think they're going to be okay because Saquon's happy. Hurts is happy. A.J. Brown now seems like he's happy. What do you think about A.J. Brown? Do you think he'll be back?
I mean, he just re-upped last year, so I mean, I think he'll be back.
He's supposed to be back.
I mean, he's had some, there were some issues this year. We know about the issues he had with Hurts. Yeah, I mean, you're losing your coordinator.
New Orleans, so
I mean, that's a big loss, and so we're gonna have to find somebody to replace him.
Yeah, we got to replace him. We got to replace him with the right guy. So.
I'll put you like this: your offensive coordinator, he wasn't that great. He had great players that he was working with. So I think y'all win in that situation Because if you just get a better offensive coordinator, then you have the tools for your passing game to be just as explosive as the running game. And this offensive coordinator had y'all looking like everything falls and goes through Saquon.
But
You
that's
guys
winning football.
should
But
be a
again,
balanced team with a good offensive coordinator. So I don't think you lost there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
You know what? A lot of
he
people
did a
don't
great
know.
job. A 2,000
Yeah.
yard running back speaks volumes to me in today's NFL. But as much as the running back has been downplayed, you know, he did what needed to get done for them to win, and that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
You know? So I don't know. Like I said, as I mentioned last week, the Commanders are the team to keep an eye on because of all the money they do have. They're going to be a destination team.
If they can get a guy, look, if the Commanders can get another guy on the other side, like T. Higgins or somebody like that,
right?
Oh, then they definitely gonna have some action for sure. Yeah. That's gonna be a nice. If you put McLaurin and T. Higgins on in the same team, that'll be a nice little duo.
Yeah, I think Carolina's going after T. Higgins.
Oh, you think somebody gonna pay him? Right, T. Higgins is about to get a bag from somebody, so I don't know.
I'm just hoping that he's that great on another team, and it's not one of those cases where he's great because he's playing behind a Avenger on the other team. You chase, it'd be hard to see until they are by themselves and you see them play as a number one. Right. Do they truly stand up and stack up to be in that number one spot?
Yeah,
I've seen it time and time before. Just like the 49ers. IU, he benefited from that running game and from that play action with that tight end. And IU is open. He has some type of breakaway speed. Number one, I don't think so.
So what do you guys think about Deebo Samuel wanting out of San Francisco? You think he can go to another team and become a true number one and stand out, or what? What do you think?
I hope he don't go to the Commanders. That's my hope.
Well, my thing is with Deebo, I don't know where, it's hard in this day and age when you have a great player, and then once they go somewhere, I don't know if you've noticed, but soon as they get the so-called bag, how they're not the same person anymore.
Yeah, a lot of guys they lose that hunger. Some do when they get that bag. So it just depends on the player, man. You know how it is, man.
Yeah, you got to have that hunger for the game to still be great once you get the bag, man. These players, these players these days, and I'm not mad at them for thinking about their bodies. I'm not mad at them for protecting themselves. But as being, a fan of the game and watching the game and love to watch the game, it takes a lot away from the game when the superstar is not playing to his potential.
Yeah. I've heard rumors of him maybe going to the Steelers.
He can go there. Good. Let him go there.
Glenn White said if Carolina gets T. Higgins, we will be a 10-win team.
Ooh. You never know, man. I mean, look like
Hey, I don't like the way you guys are not excited. You're not saying
I mean, your quarterback is starting to figure it. It looks like he's starting to figure it out a little bit, So you never know, man. He might take that leap, man. All he needs is a number one guy. He'll be straight.
Yeah,
they got more work to do. They got some work to do.
We're gonna be straight. But thank you for calling in, Lathan. We got to get to basketball because we are almost out of time.
Okay, man. All right, man. Fly Eagles fly.
All right, Fly Eagles fly.
Thank you for calling in, sir.
And I'm gonna let you get away with skipping over the Cam Newton thing this week, but we'll get to him next week.
We can talk about
you tried to avoid the Cam. You tried to avoid the Cam Newton thing. You're not.
Look. While Lathan is on the phone, I will. Yes, Cam Newton came on the news and he badmouthed the Carolina team that he got drafted to. He said that he came into a locker room full of losers, and Steve Smith, Agent 89, Mr. Ice Up's son, is on his bumper kit. Oh my goodness. You don't want to see Steve Smith in the dark alley right now, Mr. Cam Newton. I
as
mean,
he
Man,
should,
why you do that?
I don't know.
because these
Steve
guys are
Smith
social
is not
media
one to be
hounds and they're
played with.
desperate. They're social media hounds and they're desperate. They got to find something that they want to do to cause a little controversy. So he had to go to the bag of down. What does that say? That for 13 years, he's been holding in that he went to a team full of losers. What does that tell you
If
about
you
Cam Newton's
ask
character?
me, being a fan of Steve Smith and Cam Newton, Cam is a little butthurt because earlier on, Luke Kuechly, Thomas Davis, Steve Smith, they all got called back by Carolina to go to, was it London? Where were they at? They were someplace where the alumni were there, and supposedly someone forgot Cam Newton's ticket or his invite.
But you know what though? I think Cam is really salty about when you go to a Carolina, there's no resemblance at all that he ever even played there. And I think he's salty about he's not in the Ring of Honor. It's like he never even played there. That's what he's pissed about.
Yeah, I remember that till his son came. And it's like, Dad, where's your picture at?
Yeah, it's like that's kind of foul, man. I mean, he's a part of the history of Carolina. He should be somewhere, in that stadium, man. So he's a part of Carolina history. So as far as the Panthers, that's kind of foul for them to do.
Badmouth the organization all you want, but you gonna badmouth your teammates? I don't have a problem if he badmouthed the organization and called the organization a loser organization. That would be totally fine. But to sit there and say that your teammates were a bunch of losers. Wow. That's unacceptable. And didn't you guys have the defensive lineman back then, the Hall of Fame one? What's the guy you had? Wasn't he on that team?
I think I know you're talking about. I can't think of the name.
I played basketball in college.
Was it Ryan Khalil?
Not Khalil. Yeah, Kuechly. Wasn't Kuechly on that team?
Yeah, it was Kuechly.
But you also had Kuechly. But you also had what's his name?
I'm gonna say this. It was I believe it was out of context. I believe Steve Smith took it the wrong way because when Cam Newton got there, Carolina had only won two games the season before. So he was saying that he stepped into a locker room full of loser. It was a loser team. Just like Kansas City just lost. So if you went to that locker room, even though they had nothing to hang their head. Kansas City.
You are stretching.
No.
He said exactly what he meant to say. Don't pull the context.
The locker room, but
there was no context. He said
if a team won a 2-win season, that is a losing team.
No. That you could badmouth the organization all you want. He said he went into a locker room full of losers.
I don't believe he meant the players. He meant the team that had just lost that last season.
He could have said that then.
He didn't say it that way, but I believe that's the way it was meant.
No. He needs to come out and give a full apology to all.
I go through later.
Not a soft apology. He needs to give a full apology.
He is 100% hater. He got all his Lakers gear. I have never heard him say one thing good about the Lakers until LeBron was on the team.
That's right.
And look at him, he in all his purple now. He got the Lakers behind him, everything.
I roll with winners. I roll with winners. How did the organization pull off getting Luka Doncic for Anthony Davis? They were glad to sign him off. They were like, please take street clothes.
They were glad to sign him off because he's always hurt. Yeah. He got on this team, Lathan. Anthony Davis. He played one game, and what happened, Steve?
He's out for the next month.
His first game on the new team. Was this the first game on the new team?
The first game on the new team, and he came out like gangbusters. He had an amazing 3 quarters. He looked like Anthony Davis of 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And then a non-contact injury, something with his
non-contact.
And he's out for the next
month. He was walking around and was like, my thumbnail is messed up. And now he's out for a month.
When you get the nickname Street Clothes, man, that's not a good thing, man.
No,
his nickname is Street Clothes, man.
That's not a good thing whatsoever. And they were able to trade and get Doncic, who was it? the Lakers will make their money back on his jersey sales alone. What he's going to bring as far as with accessibility, as far as with marketability,
Mm-hmm.
it was a win-win. And now you got LeBron, who now feels good about himself again. They feel like they can go out and put a championship team together. Oh, my goodness.
Well, go ahead and get to this NBA news because we got to get up out of here. We already talking about the NBA. Go ahead, Steve, kick it off.
Well, we're going to need a score update. Let's see what the score is, because right now this is the second game with the Lakers going up against the Utah Jazz, and so we need to see
94-116 Utah.
So Utah won 116-94.
Have a good night, man.
Have a good one, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in. Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
Right now, Lakers is 94, Utah 116, Portland 102, Denver 114, Golden State 60, and Dallas Mavericks 68.
Okay. So it's going to be a work in progress, but they came out the first game and handed it to the Jazz. So this is going to be a case of home and home. The Lakers still got to do better on the road. That's something they still got to work on. But there's a lot to feel good about with Laker Nation. So I'm now a proud Laker fan.
Yeah, I can't jump ship the way you jump ship.
Yeah, I don't jump ship at all. I go with winners.
You swim to another boat.
I go with winners. The king has proven himself time and time again to find a way to get what he needs. I mean, I know you hate it because you always criticize the fact that he brings in the players who gives him wins, and you say, "Well, Jordan would never do that. Jordan would never play with Doncic."
Well, you always call me a hater.
Woo.
I don't fit your clothes. That's your clothes.
But
hey, Steve,
we'll be seeing you in the finals. Now, will you be wearing your Laker gears when the Lakers make the finals this year?
Well, I have my Laker hat on right now, Steve.
Okay, I want to make sure. Can we get you back on board?
I have never left. I just wasn't feeling. I'm
LeBron?
old school when it comes to basketball. I like players being with a team and sticking with a team. I understand things are changing. It's taking me a little more time than other people to update my basketball list, but hey, it is what it is. Okay. It is what it is.
All right.
I rock Carolina, I rock the Dodgers and the Lakers, sir.
Okay, so we got a lot of work cut out for you because Carolina got some work cut out for them. Dodgers are going to be straight. Speaking of that, so we do have to mention spring training is starting this week, so we're going to get a chance to see our first look at the defending World Series champion Dodgers. They've gone out and got a couple new players in the offseason to kind of build off of what they built last year, so it's going to be interesting to see. Sir. And we'll get a chance this year to see our guys Ohtani pitch and hit. So that's going to be interesting to see. So,
well, that's it. How you like this setup with the split screen and what we doing? How you like that?
I like it. It gives me a chance to be more flexible and while no.
Although I cannot back in the studio, we will be doing more stuff in the studio. But right now, we're going to switch to our show Timeout that we're about to bring to you guys. And Blow the Whistle Sports, we will always keep you updated when we will be in studio and when we're doing Timeout.
Yes, because we need to keep people updated on things because sports now is a 24/7 industry that things are always happening. So there's no off season in sports anymore. So timeouts allow us to do that.
So now, the timeout program would allow us to pop up and give you a hot 7 minutes in and out, and keep you updated on everything going around in the sports world. We thank you guys for tuning in. Steve, you want to say something before we get out of here?
Just go Lakers, and happy, like I said, looking forward to the off season. Let's see what my Commanders are going to do. But it's going to be a fun off season this year.
I wasn't really convinced that you're go Lakers. It didn't have that exuberance that I was expecting.
I'm exuberant. Trust me.
Peace out, people. We'll see y'all next week, 7 p.m. See ya.
Peace.